What's going on, everyone? It's the Niskel. Welcome back to Resident Evil. In the last episode, we used the helmet key and unlocked 2 of the 4 doors. And in this episode, we're going to be finishing up using the helmet key and getting farther into the mansion. Alright. So the next door, this is probably one of the ones you should go to first because it just has a very simple item that you can get rid of really fast. Let's see, this journal entry... Yep, that was a journal entry. There really isn't much back here. And you might be thinking, well, this looks like the setup for like a big epic boss fight. But no. It's just... It's almost an empty room. One zombie. And you can find him... Whoa! That was kind of weird. He was trying to get into the same frame as me, but he kind of didn't make it. Now, this room is kind of notorious for one of the modes you can unlock in the game. Pretty much the mirror room is one of the prime examples of invisible enemy mode. Yes, there is a mode in this called invisible enemy where everything, I think except bosses, I'll do my research on that, but everything except bosses are invisible. No. I'm completely wrong. Bosses are invisible as well. Invisible enemy mode is so hard, and I will be doing it for this Let's Play because I just have to show you how difficult it can be. But there are so many mirrors strategically placed throughout the game, and you kind of don't notice it until you start playing Invisible Enemy, and this is one of the prime examples. You can see him in the mirror, and it's not like 100% visible. They do give you a hint, and if they hit you, they show up. So it's not like they leave you completely in the dark. Capcom wouldn't do that yet until they made future titles. But it's really cool and simultaneously really freaking hard. But enough about that. Let's talk about this puzzle. A very simple puzzle, but it's kind of finicky when you're trying to put the pieces in. If it actually looks like it's going into the design, you've got it. So about right there. And there we go. Inside, there is a brooch. And it has turned into a key. Now, when we got back into the mansion, I showed you one door that couldn't be opened and it had a special insignia. That's where that goes. So right as you come back in from the mansion, just where we fought the first hunter. That's where you need to go for this specific key. But we are not going to that yet. We are actually going to head to the last helmet door and fight another boss. Now, our run with bosses have been a Crimson Head, an unstoppable monster, a giant snake, which we couldn't kill, a giant plant. So, what's on the docket this time? What else can they possibly throw at us? Actually, that was never explained. None of these, like, monsters, save for the zombies and Lisa Trevor the indestructible monster thing, those are explained. The giant snake, never explained. How does one get a giant snake like that? Whoa! Forgot about you! But you're not the zombie I'm looking for. There's a Crimson Head around here, and he wants to say hi. I hear him. Where is he? Oh, there he is. He's waiting for me. See, this is why I love the mirrors. Strategically placed. Oh, gotta go. Alright, now, this next helmet room is kind of jerkish. If you're exploring the mansion from top to bottom and you get all the maps, you'll eventually figure this out. But do you remember this room? Like, from the very beginning of the game? Where we got the armor key? For the curious, you would have checked back here and found there was another door. Now, I wouldn't have thought of that my first time playing through, but apparently there's a hidden door back here and it just happens to be usable with the helmet key. Alright, so they hand you a couple of healing items. That means it's time for a boss fight. But who are we fighting? Uh-oh. Oh! Speaking of giant snakes, hello, Yawn. Come back for seconds, have you? Alright, now you actually have to kill Yawn this time. This is the official boss fight where he has to go down. Kind of the difficult part when playing just on regular difficulties is all of your characters have auto-target, but it doesn't auto-target specific parts of his body. Like, you can't auto-target his tail, for example, which is where I try to go for him most of the time. It auto-targets to his head. Now, that makes sense, but in order to get good hits on him so he can't hurt you, always aim for the back. Now, something I'm going to have to try off-screen, and you may not see it in this episode, I'll probably save it for another boss, but that self-defense gun, that one I was telling you about 2 episodes ago that could insta-kill bosses. This is a good place to use it if you're playing, like, hard mode. And try not to get in this position or he'll coil around you and it's hard to get out. Luckily, he's a terrible shot. Good lord, man, I was right in front of you. But if you're having a hard time with normal and or hard mode and you still have the self-defense gun, use it against Yawn. Because he does take a lot of ammo. Now, I've seen people take a really long time and use a knife only. I've seen people use handgun, and the knife was a really big one. It took forever, but it was managed to be done. And there he goes. About 10, 13 shotgun shells, and Yawn's down and dead. And a cool little Easter egg. That door right there, we can't go through it. But it's kind of funny because on the other side is the end of the game. Go figure. Alright, so we have the last book in red and now the blue last book. And those are very important for the end, so we'll just keep them in our inventory for later. Don't need them right now. So now that we've gotten all the helmet doors, there's one more door that we haven't checked and we just got the key for it. And if you were hurt during that boss fight, you can pick these up, or if you got a flawless victory, there's some extra healing items for you. But I don't really need them. I've got plenty. We need to go check the brooch door. And that'll be our last stop, and then we won't be in the mansion for a while. We get to hit a whole new area. And I quite like that area. More, it's a love-hate relationship. And I'll explain why when we actually get there. But for now, let's traverse through the mansion one more time. This is a good time to go around and get any ammo you may have missed or any healing items that you may have been saving. Because we're pretty much on one of the final stretches. This is a notoriously short game. And by the way, the Crimson Head waits his turn like a proper gentle zombie. This is a very short game in the long run if you know where to go. If this is your first time, I'd say it'll take about 8 hours to finish, especially with no walkthrough. So if you want to play it through like back in the olden days when we didn't have no online guides, it'll probably take you a little while. And I like the length of this. But if you know exactly where to go, you'd be doing speed runs like nothing. Speaking of which, almost every Resident Evil game has a bonus for you beating the game really quickly. In this case, it's a secret. I'll just let you know that that I haven't been able to beat it fast enough to get the number 1 item. So I might have to work on that when working on the speed run for this game. The middle door up here that you had to use the armor key to get to, if you need some healing items, that'd be a good place to stock up on them, because it has at least 2 in normal mode. But for now, I'll be right back. I'm going to switch out my items. Hello again. And right outside this door, thanks to Barry, it is now fixed. I'm just wondering why he didn't do that earlier. It could have saved me a lot of trouble. And here we go. One of the final rooms. Ooh, we're getting close to the end. Alright, this room has one purpose and one purpose only. To turn on a lamp! Holy crap! No, that's not the only reason. Right here. The metal object. Does that look familiar? It's like we've gotten this item before. I don't think there's anything else in here. So, very, very important item right here. And just making sure... Okay, nothing else. Sweet. So now... I shall take you to the new area. I will physically come to your house and take you to the new area. 2 items that you'll need. The battery and the crank. We're going to be using the crank a lot here soon. And even in the new area, we'll be using it a lot. There's a few areas I haven't shown just because they've been off-screen. And it's better just to show you where to use it at the correct time. So if you're kind of confused as to where these places are, just follow it as is. Because I tend not to show places that I'll get to eventually. I don't show them like right up front. So if you're just following along as is, you won't be lost, trust me. One of the first things we have to do, though, is go all the way around. And make it all the way to where that fountain was, or where that waterfall was, excuse me. I don't know if it makes a difference, but if you don't have a weapon equipped, I think you move just a little faster. I see speedrunners do it all the time, but I honestly don't see the difference. And am I poisoned again? Are you kidding? I hate you snakes. Damn it. Every time. I don't think I've ever gotten past those snakes without getting poisoned. Just because I don't want to shoot them. It's a waste of ammo. Whatever. There's still dogs. There are still dogs. Die, dog. Is there another one? Yep, there he is. Ah. Ready? Boom! Oh, what? Didn't work. There we go. Whoa, I'm getting down there. Tell you what. I'm gonna run and get a blue herb, mix it, and use a full healing item. Be right back. Okay, I'm good. So after you use the battery back here in this place I haven't showed you yet, where could it possibly take you? Another place I haven't showed you. Excellent! Nah, it's just a long hallway down here where you saw the first dogs. Oh, there was another one down here. Crap. What the... Wow! I didn't know those one-shotted dogs. I have a newfound love for acid rounds. That's so good. Alright, puzzle time. Since you've got the battery and you have a way back down to the lower level, what do? We take out the waterfall, of course. I mean, you can't just walk through that water. Might get my hat wet. And now we get to see glorious GameCube graphics. I don't know what it was about Capcom. They really know how to work with any technology they're given. And they always make it look so nice. Now the waterfall has stopped. And, oh, just look at that water. It looks so nice. Move over, Resident Evil 5 and 6. Resident Evil Remake's got you beaten in the graphics department. If only it was, like... I own both the GameCube version and the Wii version of Resident Evil Remake, and I really don't like it when Capcom says HD Remix, because it's not true. I mean, I've looked at Resident Evil 4 HD, I own it, and I compared it to the GameCube version. The only difference is that the text is sharper, and I love this camera angle. It looks so cool. But yeah, the difference between the GameCube and the Wii version is the text is sharper. Nothing else has changed. and the screen is a lot smaller, which I have to show that. It is so funny. Just the dimensions of the Wii version. It's so small in comparison. Alright, so down here is a very helpful item box where you can get rid of a bunch of items. All you need is weaponry right now and a healing item if you want it. There's also some ink ribbons down here where you can use to save, which sounds like a very good idea. So I think I will save right here, and we'll call it quits for now. So, next time on Resident Evil, we're going to be searching around the underground. Maybe see someone we haven't seen in a while. See you guys next time.